In the restless heart of Ekena city, where the night was loud, the day was fast, and morality was often optional, stories were always unfolding. Some ended in triumph, others in tragedy. But the tale of one young man, a man called Tega, would soon echo across the city like a stubborn whisper refusing to die. His story was one that questioned justice, fate, and the thin line between innocence and guilt. And though many would call him the victim, others would insist that the gods had merely balanced their scales. But only the truth would reveal which side was right. Ikena city was not a place where silence stayed for long. Even at night, the honking of impatient drivers filled the air. Street vendors still haggled over the last roasted plantain. Motorcycles zigzagged like mosquitoes, and neon-lit billboards flashed promises of wealth and success that most residents would never taste. Tega admired the chaos from the window of the rickety apartment he shared with his cousin, Zeno. From the 12th floor, the city looked like a restless ocean of lights. Guy, this city no dey tire, Tega muttered. Zeno laughed behind him. But na inside this same city you wan hammer. I go hammer, Tega replied quietly, but I go hammer clean. That was the difference between him and most young men of Ekena. While others blended into the city's corruption like water into sand, Tega held on stubbornly to his principles. He was 25, tall, calm, and soft-spoken, a graduate with no real job, a dreamer surrounded by wolves. Zeno, on the other hand, was the opposite, loud, impulsive, always scheming. He loved fast money, fast women, fast thrills. It was a dangerous contrast. 3 months earlier, Tega had finally secured a position at Novatech Communications as an assistant logistics officer. It wasn't much, but it was honest. It paid enough for food, transport, and hope. And hope was something Tega held tightly. His boss, Mrs. Morenike Adegoke, was the kind of woman who commanded attention even in silence. Sharp eyes, sharper tongue. She ran the office like a kingdom. Many feared her, but Tega respected her. She respected him too, or so he thought. One Friday evening, she called him into her office. Tega, I've been observing you, she began. Tega stood straight. Yes, ma. You are focused, reliable, different from the other young men here. A small smile tugged at his lips. Thank you, ma. But you are too gentle for a city like this, she said. And one day, that gentleness may cost you. He didn't know those words were a prophecy. She handed him an envelope. This is for the Monday delivery to the main branch. It contains confidential documents. You will deliver it yourself. He accepted the envelope with pride. Leaving her office, he whispered to himself, this is the beginning. He didn't know it was the end. Saturday evening was bright and loud. Zeno convinced Tega to accompany him to a street festival at Ajegba district. Tega, this your life too dry, Zeno joked. Come out, enjoy small. After 1 hour of protest, Tega agreed, but reluctantly. The festival was packed. Food stalls, dancers, loudspeakers, and a chaotic sea of young people. Tega kept his phone and wallet tightly in his pocket. But as they walked deeper into the crowd, a sudden commotion erupted. People began running, vendors abandoned their stands. Screams pierced the music. Wetin happened? Tega asked. Police! Someone shouted. Armed robbers! Another yelled. The confusion spread like wildfire. Zeno grabbed Tega's arm. Guy, run! They ran, not because they were guilty, but because in Ekena City, innocence didn't protect you from stray bullets. As they turned into a narrow alley, they almost crashed into a group of men sprinting in the opposite direction. One of them, masked, collided with Tega and staggered. A small black bag dropped from the man's hand. The man didn't stop to pick it up. He kept running. Pick that thing, Zeno urged. Why? Tega argued. Guy, if police see us here, them no go reason anything. Just pick arm. Hesitantly, Tega grabbed the bag. He opened it slightly. His throat tightened. Money, bundles of fresh cash, and a small pistol. Tega froze like ice. Zeno, this na armed robber's bag. Zeno swallowed hard, eyes wide. Guy, drop arm. Before they could react, the sound of boots thundered into the alley. Police officers, flashlights, guns. Freeze! Tega's heart stopped. The bag was in his hand. The officers didn't ask questions. They didn't need to. To them, everything was already clear. He was shoved into a police van. His protests, pleas, explanations, none mattered. Zeno escaped in the chaos. At the police station, the interrogation was brutal. You were caught with stolen money. No, sir, I caught with a weapon. I just picked. Stop lying. For hours, they drilled him, beat him, insulted him. He kept repeating the truth, but the truth bounced against deaf ears. At dawn, he was thrown into a dark cell with 10 other men, each with a story, each claiming to be innocent. He sat in a corner, shaking. The envelope, his work assignment, was still in his pocket. It now felt like a curse. He didn't sleep, he didn't cry, but his soul cracked. Word spread. At Novatech, Mrs. Morenike was shocked. Tega, armed robbery, impossible. But evidence was evidence, they argued. He was found with the money, he was found with the gun. People believed what they wanted to believe. By Monday morning, the office gossip was loud and cruel. Tega, that quiet boy, criminals they disguise well. Oh, Mrs. Morenike frowned deeply, troubled. Something wasn't right, but she said nothing. Meanwhile, Zeno couldn't sleep. He paced the apartment, biting his nails. Nami caused this, he whispered. He knew Tega was innocent. He knew the masked robber dropped the bag. He saw everything. But coming forward meant exposing himself. And Zeno was a coward. Days passed. Tega remained in custody. Zeno's guilt ate him like fire. Tega's mother arrived from their hometown, crying and begging for help. She went from police station to courthouse, pleading with strangers one afternoon. A young female lawyer named Adaku Obi overheard her. Madam, what is the problem? My son. They arrested him for a crime he didn't commit. Adaku helped her up. Let me see the case file. After 1 hour of reading, she sighed deeply. This boy is innocent. The statements don't add up. The police rushed this, don't worry. I will take the case. But I don't have money. I didn't ask for money. Adaku was known as the Lioness of Ekena Court, fierce, brilliant, uncompromising, and she chose her battles. Tega's case angered her because injustice was a fire she refused to tolerate. The courthouse was full. Tega stood in the dock like a shadow of himself, thin, exhausted, bruised. His mother sobbed in the back row. Prosecutors presented the evidence. Money gone, witnesses claiming Tega was running. Everything pointed to guilt. Adaku stood calmly. Your Honor, the evidence is planted. My client was a victim of circumstance. She explained the festival, the panic, the fleeing men. Do you have proof? The judge asked. Not yet. The judge adjourned the case for 2 weeks. As Tega was led away, he whispered, Why me? Meanwhile, Mrs. Morenike conducted her own investigation. She contacted the main branch. They never received the documents Tega was delivering. Something snapped in her mind. She hired a private investigator, Mr. Olawal, a retired detective. In 2 days, he uncovered that the robbers used Ajegba as an escape route. The stolen money belonged to a corrupt construction syndicate, and the police were under pressure to produce suspects. Tega became the scapegoat. CCTV footage showed masked men fleeing, with one colliding with someone in the alley. It wasn't clear, but it was enough. During the next hearing, Adako presented the findings. The courtroom buzzed. Mrs. Morenike testified. The judge frowned deeply. Then, unexpectedly, a voice rose from the back. I get something to say. It was Zeno. He stepped forward, trembling. I was there. Tega no be thief. Now one of the robbers dropped that bag Tega pick am because police dey rush come. I run leave am. Na me cause everything. The courtroom gasped. Tega burst into tears. His mother collapsed in relief. The judge looked at Zeno sternly. You realize this confession implicates you? Yes, sir, but I no fit carry this guilt again. After verifying his statement, the judge struck out the case. Tega Okechukwu, you are hereby acquitted. You are free to go. The courtroom erupted in claps, but Tega didn't smile. Freedom felt heavy. The city had already judged him. His name was stained. His dreams were shattered. When he stepped outside, journalists pushed microphones toward him. How does it feel to be free? Tega looked into the cameras and said, I am free, but I am not okay. I am the victim of a system that does not wait for truth, a system that punishes the innocent faster than the guilty. I survived, but many never do. His words shook the city. Novatech reinstated him immediately. Mrs. Morenike apologized. Adaku became like a big sister to him. Zeno was sentenced to 6 months, but Tega visited him weekly. Why you dey come? Zeno asked. I betray you. Tega sighed. Zeno, life na story. Everybody play their part. But if I leave you, who go help you start again? Meanwhile, activists used Tega's case as an example of wrongful prosecution. Posters went up, rallies were held. His story sparked reform. Months passed. Tega healed slowly. He became an advocate for justice, speaking at universities, forums, and community programs. One evening, after giving a speech titled The Cost of Being Innocent, he walked through the city again. The lights glowed like always. The noise hummed. But something was different. Ikena City no longer felt like a predator. It felt like a witness to his pain and to his triumph. Tega was once a victim, a boy swallowed by the chaos of the city. But he rose, he fought, he spoke, and in doing so, he became something far greater, a warning, a symbol, a legend a Kena city would never forget his story. Because in the heart of the city that never sleeps, the loudest voice is the voice of the one who survived.